What it is, guys, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at y'all with another Dokkan Battle video. Now, today, I know a lot of us are grinding the World Tournament, so go ahead and put me on the background. What we're going to be showcasing isn't insanely important, but I definitely want to get you guys' honest, candid opinions. So after the video's done, take a brief moment, if you would, comment in the comments section, and let me know what you think about this topic, because I think this is one that's actually really important. And I will admit this does mostly pertain to our free-to-play people, but I think it's important for the overall scope of the game, and I'll explain why. But first of all, a lot of people are like, what the hell are you on about? Well, I want to talk for a moment about these guys, the Super Strikes, the old school, the OG free-to-play Dokkan Battle cards. These used to be the first cards you grind up, okay? And they were really special. When you Dokkan Awaken them, they go to SA15. They did all this crazy stuff. And you needed them for the LR Goku grind. Nothing else worked. You know, those of you that weren't here back in those days, Goku was the only LR. And the only way to get him was to grind up these units, build a team of Super Strikes, and go attack that event. This is the only way for it to work. Okay? It was really challenging. And even to get them was hard, because you had to take a team cost of merely 100. So you almost had to use Super Strikes to go get Super Strikes. Then, about the time we got the 70% leads, the God leads, first series of God leads, you started finding cheat mode and things like that you could take them on. But still, you know, there was still a certain amount of team building you had to do. So I do relish that from the OG days of Dragon Ball. OG days of Dokkan Battle. But there's no part of me that doesn't understand that wouldn't work today. Now, if you look at these guys on the surface, these guys should be awesome, right? They're URs, they're SA15, but they're not. They're crap. The only one that would even remotely be relevant anymore might be Android 16, and even that's questionable. It's only for his tanking, and his attacks are pretty pathetic. So, if I'm honest with myself here, these units really need some love again. But what do? You can't give them knees, yay, because they already have SA15. There's a lot of weird situations there, okay? But before I get into the solution, I want to talk a little bit about why I think this is important to Dokkan Battle, okay? First of all, let's think about it from the aspect of a free-to-play player, right? I know it's hard for some of us. Some of us have those days are way behind us, but the free-to-play player, and that is pretty much how the game is going to bring new blood into this game. Most people aren't going to pick up this game and go, oh my god, I'm really looking forward to grinding X, Y, or Z. Oh my god, I'm really looking forward to spending $150 on this next banner. No. The vast majority of players are going to be attracted by the free-to-play aspect. If they decide to put money into the game, that's because they believe in the platform and they think that the game is worthwhile. Being a Dragon Ball game helps out a lot too, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So, we've got 2, maybe 3 really amazing free-to-play teams. Ginyu Force, which is another daily grind. At the end of it, you get this amazing LR. Any of that sound familiar? It's because it's basically the same platform, but it gives you this one really amazing team, which really beats the shit out of this. Because, almost none of these guys can work together in a team. Obviously, Chilled, King Cold, and Frieza obviously can. And then, obviously, maybe you can put Frieza and General Tao in there since they're both mechanized, along with Android 16. I mean, there's ways you can put a few of them together. You know, Vegeta and King Vegeta on a Vegeta team. So on and so forth. So there are options, but there's no one definitive team here. So it's not like if you gave these guys an awakening, they'd be just crazy OP and they'd be wrecking the joint. Okay? What teams do we have that actually work right now? Ginyu Force. We're going to talk about Ginyu Force. Dragon Ball Seekers, which you cannot grind all of the time, at least not without spending a bunch of keys, which as a new player you wouldn't have. You'd have to earn those over time. So those are the 2 main ones. Now, Hybrid Saiyans is up and coming. Hybrid Saiyans, I've seen a lot of good free-to-play Hybrid Saiyans teams. And that's spectacular. But to keep people interested in the game, you really need like something that for people to chase all the time. Super Strikes are absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect for that. The drop rates are almost too good now. I think the drop rates have actually kind of taken what made Super Strikes and just muddled it completely. Well, Super Strikes were at least. So the grind is easy, almost like I said, too easy at this point, but that's not bad for a free-to-play person. If these became like the first cards that somebody was able to grind up, that would be really special and really spectacular. Except, as I said before, the problem is they kind of suck. So basically what I'm getting at is by adding more free-to-play cards to the game, you're not really ruining the game. You're just giving something more for people to aspire to, another hook to get people brought in. So from a business standpoint, this just makes too much sense, right? We have really great free-to-play teams, and by giving them just a tiny bit more, you're not going to tell people don't spend money. What you're telling people is we value you and we're putting more value back into the game because we appreciate you, right? And that's, once again, how you attract a customer base. So, as I say to one of the biggest gotchas out there, and makes insane amounts of money anyway, but most free-to-play players get really frustrated with this game really quickly. Also, like I said, these aren't like one unit that will just make a crazy team and just go blast everything to Hades, like when Ginyu Force first came out last year. This is now like filler units for different types of teams. Obviously, we've got Hybrid Saiyans. Fusions. I would even believe the Hybrid Saiyans. Vegeta family. You know, the strongest clan. So on and so forth. Plus, it gives you an excellent opportunity to start working on some other cards that maybe haven't gotten enough love or could be modified in such a way as to which they could work in other circumstances, such as Tien. Absolutely one of my favorite examples of this. Like I said earlier, no teams whatsoever. But that's because I believe that's the Dragon. The Saiyan Saga art. Now you could completely, with the way he is right here, Dokkan awaken him, because it's kind of alluding to it, into his Crane Hermit outfit, and then give him Dragon Ball Seekers. Give him, well, Dragon Ball Seekers wouldn't make an insane amount of sense for him, but give him the DB Saga. You know, there's lots of different ways that you could fix him up. You know, or hell, give him when he was doing the crazy Kikohos in against First Form Cell. You know, pretty much at his peak, or even him in Dragon Ball Super, pretty much at his peak, and give him full power. Lots and lots and lots of options. Right now, he's just a scrub unit with no real purpose. Okay? So what am I really proposing here? Well, if you look at these units, like I said, on the cover, they're URs with SA-15. Okay? They should be stupid strong. But you even go in and look at some of the best of them. Case in point, once again, Tien. Because Tien does extreme damage, which used to be a huge thing. You said, oh my god, that's an extreme damage super strike? Oh, I'm grinding that one first, right? But you get in there and nowadays you fight with them and you're just kind of like, why would I bother? See, even mine has a dupe in there because I kind of did it as a challenge. I didn't put any orbs in them. I just kind of was like, okay, here's what you can do and here's how expensive it is. And that was my video and we never talked about it again. No one puts dupes into super strikes. But I assure you, they could. So the biggest problem, and the one thing that makes them just insanely weak, not only is it the extreme damage, and most of them are huge for that matter, which is atrocious as a multiplier, there is no percentage boost on this unit. Some of these units have a flat boost. I believe Grandpa Gohan has a flat boost. Let's go take a look at him. Is it Grandpa Gohan? I think he gets Key 3 and a flat boost. Yeah. Key 3, attack and defense, 20% at the start of a turn. Or, I'm sorry, 20%. 2,000 at the start of a turn. If that was a percentage boost, it would actually be useful. But it's not. Flat boosts are a thing of the past and just so unbelievably antiquated. Okay? Now, I'm not saying give him like a 90% boost or whatever. What I'm saying is, you still have a level you can give them. You can give them TUR. Give them a transcended version of their current awakening. Everyone's got 2 levels, with the exception of Gotenks, who has 3. Add a 3rd, or in case of Gotenks, 4th level, that then are another set of medals that you can grind out. Okay? Put some kind of another crazy modifier in there. So you'd have to have a team cost of 200. So it's challenging, but it's not impossible. And you have to grind out, I don't know, 10 or 15 of the medals, and only 1 drops at a time. And then you can upgrade them to TUR stats. You can transcend them beyond the UR limit. That gives them level 120. They keep their SA-15. They don't need extra SA-15. Change the art a little bit so they turn into something else. Technically, it's a brand new awakening at that point. Not quite an easy A, but also not quite, a standard Dokkan TUR. And add in there a 50% multiplier and supreme damage on almost every single one of these guys. Supreme damage of 50% is not going to challenge any major units in this game. But, one thing all these units have in common, one simple thing they all have in common, and actually how I found them here, this Super Strike link skill. Link it up. Basically force people to link it up. The Super Strike link skill is one that all of these units share. And there's a few that I haven't even, I don't have that Kid Vegeta ground up because there was no point by the time he got here. I don't have that Trunks or that Piccolo or any of those guys because there was just no point. Why would I waste my time on antiquated units that don't make it any difference at all, right? So, therein lies kind of the problem. That said, if I came in here, I looked at him and I'm like, okay, this guy's got supreme damage. He's 50%, but he's got the Super Strike Link skill. Okay, now I can actually use it. Because then you could go in here and, he's got Rival Duo. That would be even more. Soul v Soul, weakens regeneration in Key 1. I'm trying to remember what each one is. That's all a key. That's key links. I believe that's key link. Well, okay. It's attack 1,000%, or 1,000 flat. But either way, you link up Super Strike and you link up Rival Duo, and suddenly you're talking about a unit that's now doing very respectable damage. Only under this very, very specific condition. It basically requires that once you grind one, you have to grind at least another that works on that team. And then you start building diversified teams. And what this does is this now gives people the ability. I'm really trying to sell this to Akatsuki, but they're never going to see this video. What this does is this gives new players, free-to-play players, the ability to now fill holes in teams where they probably otherwise wouldn't have anything. Because most of the free-to-play units in this game drop from events that are only around for a little bit of time. And yes, you could use keys, but new players are going to have keys. They're not going to know about a lot of these units. You've now got a daily unit that you could use at any given time on any kind of team. Mono teams, category teams, hell, even the old school rainbow teams that were really muddled and antiquated by today's standards could actually come back into prominence, at least for, grinding these types of events. There is absolutely no reason for them not to do this. Absolutely no reason not to do this. It's something that I think is really important for the longevity and to attract new players into the game, because people get really bored really fast. And there's a lot of gacha games, those of you who play Danmachi with us right now, that every single week they've got fresh, brand new content. And this game really only seems to have that every once in a while. So having more of these types of things would really help out this game a lot. And then cycle in new super strikes every once in a while. Start releasing just random super strikes like you guys used to. There's nothing to stop you from doing that. Have some special ones that come in and then go out like you used to. I don't know any other way to word this, but I think it would be a fantastic way for those of us nostalgia files that have these cards and kind of like laugh at them when we see them. You know, we might be interested. Try using them again. Start changing up teams. Start challenging more teams. I've been doing a lot of videos with my Dragon Ball Heroes teams, or at least trying to. And, you know, it's a way that people can add a little more variance into the game and have a little more fun with it. That's just my 2 cents. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Do you have a better idea? Because I really think supreme damage at 50% across the board for almost all of these. The only exception would be with, like, units like 16, because obviously he's a tank. You maybe wouldn't have to have him give him the full 50%. But maybe reduce damage and then have, like, a retaliation. Kind of like your Super Vegetos. Tien, he has a chance to stun the entire team. Add like a stun mechanic into his super attack. You know, give these guys something unique that definitely sets them apart. I don't remember what Chill did, but I remember he did something interesting. Okay, he's a nuker, that's right. So he's a nuker, and so is the Fat Gotenks. So, you know, give them different abilities within their nuking skill. You know, there's make him an AoE like Boo, or make Chilled an AoE because he basically wiped out a whole race, and give him, like, I don't know, a little more regeneration or something like that. There's lots and lots and lots of ways to do this that would just add more interest and more intrigue to the game. That's my video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. I've spoken my piece, and yeah, that's that. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and definitely make sure that you comment. And if you like this idea, hit that little thumbs up button. It helps this video get a little bit more, I say gravity, but helps it get a little bit more exposure as time goes on. That definitely helps out if you firmly believe in this as well. And comment, like I said, and I love to get the conversation going. I'm sure there's going to be enough people that think it's a worthless idea, but I think a lot of free-to-play players might look at this and go, yeah, that actually would really interest me. Let me know. If you have a better idea, also let me know. I think it's a great way to get the dialogue going. Other than that, guys, I'll be back at y'all with more Dokkan Battle here very, very soon.